Part 2 ending of what happens now. I'm very pissed off right now and enraged beyond words, keeping my good face around the wife through. The lawyer returned my call about the unwanted trash other man has left there so far, and pretty much at this point nothing we can do. Just keep saving everything, but there's no mention of anything physical in any of the crap he left, so for now not much we can do. Lawyer also told me I need to let the wife read the letters and see everything the other man has left her. Wife has not wanted to see or read anything other man left. If we need to ask a row in the future, she will be the one having to do it, and for that she needs to be aware of all the facts. I'm thinking how I will approach this with her. Honestly, I don't want to show her anything. I also took advantage of the fact the in-laws got here and been helping wife and the kids with packing to go to the post office and mail in see letter to brother and sister. On my way back, brother kept calling and I answered. My brother is no longer a man. There's no traces of manhood left in him. Like one of you said, he is just a trash. I had to stop my car and calm down before driving home. So according to brother, although he does not agree with the involvement of his wife and all this or how she has been helping other man, he does think that my wife and other man are in love, had a story together, and I should let people be happy. Yes, I should let people be happy. Forget I am her husband. Forget I've been with her dating, married almost double the years other man was. Yes, I should just let people be happy. He also still thinks that the fact other man slept at his house was his, brother, a way of helping me. Because other man's parents were very worried about his issues, bipolar, and if something had happened to him, I could be sued for something. He also told me other man will not give up on my wife, he really loves her, and although brother doesn't know for how long other man will be in town, other man quit his job back home. That I should just accept things as they are and move on. My wife and other man really love each other. He also said apparently when other man used to get into his bipolar episodes while they were dating, wife was the only one capable of calm him down. I don't know what this means and don't care. This explains his parents enabling him. My wife was the free nurse to their mental ill other man of a son. I'm telling wife I trust her and believe she will do the right thing, but this is what I'm telling her. Since D-Day she has done everything. I asked her and showed herself sincere, sorry and very remorseful. However, I'm not letting my guard down. I will not show it to her, but will keep everything as if the affair was still going on. Spying, checking, everything. While out I got 2 new VAR for our trip, one for the bedroom and one to be put wherever the home phone is. About the unwanted mail and the fact other man has been hanging around, wife has shown herself very sorry and asked for forgiveness for the stress it is causing me. Showed herself shocked by it, never thought other man would come here, and although she doesn't think he would hurt her, feels concern about me. I have her email password. Even before this, wife rarely but really checks her email. When she does, she uses my laptop so I know what she emails. She doesn't have any Facebook or the likes. She is using a new phone that I gave her, and I'm holding on to her old one until the new number is switched to it. She wants the damn old phone. Well, I'm sure and have proven they only been in contact this last 4 weeks since that damn wedding, but yeah, I know what you're saying. If nothing else has been on her mind probably all along, even though she says she did not have any feeling for him until the recent couple of years. But yeah, I hear you. Yes, any sort of contact with him in any shape or form, I'm done for good. I'm coming to believe my brother may indeed on meds or some sort of mental issue. I barely recognize him. Believe me, man, for the other man want to be involved with my sister, he had not only to be crazy what he is, he would have no be on meds and drunk as well. Sister is delusional. The only time she saw my wife and other man together was when they were dating back on the day, and she was never friends with my wife at all. Not then now, but she still thinks they make a cute couple. The trip we will be going tonight. Sister reason to say they love each other is the fact other man and wife been in contact for 4 weeks. Sister on word. Only a week would have been enough for real love, she told me this. Wife has not talked with my brother but did talk with my sister the other day. I have it on VAR, and it was a brief talk where wife said, "You don't know me, you know anything about me, don't ever call me again." I tried everything along this lines with brother, nothing gets through him. We used to be best buds until he got married. After that I always kept being the nice brother and helped him multiple times. Paid off debts he got from his garbage of a wife, crazy shopping trips, and so much more, but he has changed so much over the years that I don't know him anymore. 2 things I forgot to mention. Sister throw at my face that if she had been in touch with the other man before and had known how much he loves wife and how he never forget her, she would have helped him years ago. This tells me that wherever other man says they buy it. My brother, to prove how nice other man is to my wife, told me other man is even willing now to let her have a relationship with the kids, so yeah, other man has done a great job showing how nice he is. This more the fact sister hates me and brainwashed my brother through the years, makes me in their view the villain of the story, I'm sure. Sister knew who he was but never had any contact with him before, as they didn't had same friends or anything in common. She really just talked with him first time at the wedding, and when I pointed out this to her she said was enough to see he means well. Maybe is crazy, but I wonder if sister thinks if wife is no longer in the picture I will hand over my kids to her like she wanted all along. I told that to my wife the day he was outside wanting to talk to her. I even left the house. Also told my brother and sister that I did this. When I think it can't get any crazier, I'm proved wrong. My brother told my sister about our conversation early today, and this must have sent the crap on some rage. She came to my house. As I refused to let her in and told her to leave, she started banging the door, screaming, name-calling. Totally out of control, I had to call the police on her. Brother stayed on the car the whole time as the garbage that he is. When the police arrived, I had to open the door and she then tried to physically attack my wife. Had to be restrained by me and one of the officers. She claimed I was holding wife hostage, brainwashing her, being abusive and everything else you can imagine. She screamed at wife, how could she do this? Other man really loves her, how can she be with me and all the soulmate forever crap, unbelievable. A police report was filed and the cops told brother his wife is unstable, that he should seek medical help for her. I'm just in disbelief. You don't put your hands on a woman, but I almost forgot that. She just lost any control, boundaries. This is beyond anything I can possibly imagine between people. I have a massive headache for 4 days now. Hopefully at least now I'm done with both brother and her, this insane woman. My wife was shocked. Last time sister was at our house was 4 years ago for the kid's birthday, so the fact she came in the first place was in itself shocking. My wife handled the situation very well, taking into account the insanity of it. She told the cops she is fine, not being held or forced to anything at all. That crazy woman has persisted in get herself involved in a private matter that she has no relationship whatsoever with her. Cannot possibly understand where all her ideas were coming from about the whole soulmate crap. Wife told sister, if I wanted that, don't you think I could have gone to with him when he was here? I was alone, I don't want to be with him. Sister then started screaming all love crap and my wife is being mind controlled by me. Try to attack her. Sister said she was just going to shake her. Like if it's okay go to someone's house to shack them. Despite everything he has done, I was so sorry for my brother. He looked broken. Didn't even look like him. He was clearly embarrassed and didn't know how to act. Sad to see. Sister has always had issues with me. I'm not sure why I have never got involved in her relationship with my brother. Was never rude or anything towards her. In fact, through the years my brother got into massive debt due to her crazy shopping habits, and I paid thousands of dollars in his behalf, from loans to credit cards, you name it, and not always I got my money back. At some point I even paid for an adoption lawyer when they tried to adopt, and the list goes on. Yes, there were times I had to say no to my brother's money requests because I'm not an ATM, and frankly one thing is help out when they are on a tough spot, other is co-sign for a loan because brother has bad credit and sister wanted a nice car for her birthday. She does have a problem being told no, and yes, I had to do that many times through the years. I don't know what it is, but I'm certain now my sister must have some sort of mental issue. Not trying to make excuses, but I'm sure the many years of failed infertility treatments and failed adoption attempts is very likely to have played a role in how she finds herself today mentally. My brother, on the other hand, always made excuses to odd behaviors and other stuff she did that, although were not that important by itself on a bigger picture, were already signs. She was not well. Years ago, after their last attempt with the fertility treatments, I suggested to my brother they should seek IC to deal with all this. Don't if they ever did. I do feel very bad for him. Yesterday it was like if him at all wasn't. I don't even find the words to explain. My wife feels in disbelief about brother, sister involvement. She doesn't understand why they care or why they feel the need to involve themselves, and sister behavior yesterday is just beyond what she could imagine. As far as the other man goes, he did not leave any trash in our mailbox yesterday. My father-in-law confirmed he is still at the hotel but no trash. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but maybe other man just gave up. My wife called them on their crap. The police was also not pleased to come back to my house again in less than 3 days over what they call a domestic dispute. Yeah guys, you probably right and I'm being too optimistic, but maybe the fact he didn't let any trash means that he might at least be thinking about giving up and go back to his basement, or as I early on had found out he was planning to move across country and start his own business. Maybe he will. That would be for the best. We were supposed to go this morning, but with everything that happened yesterday I needed a few more hours of sleep this morning. It's just an hour drive, but still. Brother, sister don't know mother-in-law's relative, and only the in-laws know where we are going. They 100% on my side and won't say anything. Not even mother-in-law's relative was told why we are going. Well, I was told by both sister, brother, and the other man's parents when I exposed to them. That other man never forgot my wife and always hoped to reconnect, to the point all this years he never dated anyone else. I think was a combination of the two things. Other man has been crazy all this years, and sister with her own craziness helped the nutbag. Father-in-law yesterday offered again to buy our house so we could have immediately the cash to move and buy a new house. He then would sell it, and whenever it would be sold, he could get the money back. Wife also suggested we do just that, but I still not sure. The chance of moving is great but needs to be very well thought. There's many things involved with moving. Other man is a bigger concern than my brother, sister, as he is more likely to keep up this crap and become stalking us or who knows what else. It concerns me a lot. He left his job and has been so far away from his basement already for this many days. Brother, sister, I think they will very likely sooner or later give up. The fact my brother yesterday didn't say a word speaks volumes to me. All his life when he was done with something you wouldn't hear a word from him about the subject anymore. Sister is also the type that will pursue something until the end, but if things don't go her way throws a tantrum and she is done. They will receive the no contact letter probably tomorrow, and there's a police report on sister. Any other attempts to contact me or my wife, we will go straight to the courthouse and seek and row. Wife confronted brother, sister yesterday and confronted the other man on Monday when she called the cops on him. I confirmed it with the cops and also have it on VAR. The issue going to be next week. I go back to work on Monday. Wife will be home alone all day. Well, with the kids, but you get the point. I have all the spy stuff up and also contacted the PI. As I'm sure you can imagine, I will not hold her hostage at home or forbid her to take our daughter to the ballet. So, I'm doing my part, trusting her, verifying, but ultimately, it's up to her to do the right thing or not. Until now she has done everything. I asked her and I have reasons to believe she is sincere, but only the week ahead and time will tell me if she really means business. If she does, we keep working on it. If she doesn't, I know what to do. She has asked for my forgiveness many times, showed herself remorseful, took responsibility for it all, including when she was confronted by my in-laws, and has not blamed me for it. Until now she has put all the blame on herself. Wife, the kids and I had a great time this afternoon. Mother-in-law came along with us so she can look after the kids. They will stay with mother-in-law's relative in the house's first floor, while wife and I will have the second floor just for ourselves. Wife and I started reading his needs, her needs. We also finished the questionnaires I had printed out. Wow, what a wake-up call. I have dropped the ball so many times over the years. Some of the things I could have done and didn't are quite frankly too embarrassing. I do have work to do on myself. After giving it some thought, I decided that on Sunday night, instead of going back home, I will keep wife and the kids here. As many of you have pointed out, it's not safe. Leave them alone at home at this point. I will go into town to take care of a few issues like go to bank, take more time from work, and then I will go from there. I'm thinking I may take the wife on that honeymoon while the in-laws already offer to look after the kids. I don't know how far the other man will go, but as of right now this may be the best option. Well, had a very nice weekend with the wife. We went out for lunch and dinner, spent a lot of time together, had some fun, worked on reading, keep reading both books, did the questionnaires, and had plenty of hysterical bounding. Mother-in-law and I are going back to town tomorrow morning. I need to talk with my boss and get the time off, get a new phone number, and there's a few other things I need to do. Wife and the kids will stay here. As far as the other man goes, he spent the weekend on his car outside my house, tried to talk to father-in-law on Saturday morning, who told him to F off. His speech is the same, wants to talk to my wife alone, and left more garbage on our mailbox. Father-in-law called the police, who said no crime is being committed and we should just ignore him. On other note, on Friday evening, I was served by proxy, through father-in-law, with a NC letter from brother and sis-in-law. Not sure what to make of it. I'm thinking maybe is a good idea use the PI to try to find out what the other man is up to. I don't know, check if other man is looking for a home job here or not. I don't know. I called my lawyer this morning and I'm waiting to hear back from him. I agree and do think the police is not taking this seriously as it is or as I would like. I'm sure they busy and deal with much worse, so yay on their book. This may not yet be that bad, but I want something to be done. I already did all that and wife wants to stay with me. She does not want to be with other man. He was all weekend inside his car and slept there. This morning father-in-law says he left and confirmed he is at the hotel. My wife thinks this is insane, doesn't understand why he would do this on the first place, doesn't understand why he doesn't leave after she made very clear it's over, and is confused about what he thinks he will accomplish with this. I intend to ask the lawyer again about a row. Maybe we can't get one now, but maybe anything of the sort. I think you are right. At some point the police mentioned that unless the unwanted mail mentions something bad. When it doesn't, it is not their jurisdiction to investigate or do something about it. More love letters, poems, and an engagement ring. Well, did talk with the lawyer. As far as the trash in the mail goes, he told me to report it to the USPS. The police will not act on it, that I may try to pressure them to file a police report, have the lawyer call, but it's unlikely they will. He told me I should keep all the trash for now just in case. He suggested that I hire a server processor and serve him with a cease and desist while he is here and then going from there. I honest don't think this will work, but I don't feel I have many other options. While other man was served with the cease and desist. We had our first MC session today and I think it was okay. Wife seemed very committed to help me heal and work on our marriage. The MC was also much stronger about all this than the previous MC we saw, that to some extent made excuses to wife's behavior. Wife said she no longer feels about other man the same way as before, doesn't want to be with him but still has some feelings for him, so yay, not what I wanted to hear. I'm just trying to take one day at a time. Again, thanks guys for all your help. You have made a huge difference in helping me deal with all this crap. I set an appointment with the lawyer my lawyer recommends. Also talked with him a little about the case over the phone. He advised me to send another server processor to serve other man at his home address. If he is not there, he can be served by proxy through his parents, and this way other man's parents will also be informed what is going on. For legal reasons, the lawyer said is good if he is also served at his official home address, so he cannot use this fact in any sort of loophole in case we end up in court. If other man violates the cease and desist, the lawyer thinks the next step will be to try to get a row. What he thinks won't be easy, but we have a shot. Last couple of days I've been dealing with the anger issue. It comes out of nowhere, and I feel I could just explode at my wife for no apparent reason. I have controlled myself around her so far. The in-laws have been great, and we agreed that every month they will take the kids 2 weekends, and during the week at least once. I'm also looking into activities we can do together. My wife did ballet for more than 20 years. She was a professional ballerina and has always asked me to join a couples dance class with her. I've been thinking I will surprise her with that. The football is also a great idea. She used to go with my brother-in-law before we were married, but since then I have never taken her to any games. We are both reading his needs, her needs. It has been an eye-opener. As far as the other man goes, I sent the server processor to serve him at his home address as well. As my lawyer suggested, other man was not there and the cease and the desist was given to his parents. It is not clear to me if he returned home or not. After this, my lawyer received a BS call from a lawyer who claims to be their family lawyer, meaning other man's parents are paying for it, who says other man wants to make a deal, basically that other man meets with my wife in my lawyer's office so they can talk, and after this other man will leave us alone. Lawyer claims that his client only wants to speak with his friend and that through brainwashing I'm preventing this, and with a talk this could all be solved. The lawyer also claimed a bunch of BS to justify all the insane behavior other man has engaged into, and that I'm the one preventing my wife to talk to him. Even when she called the police on other man, it was my fault. Lawyer also wants the ring back that he claims is a family heirloom. If not, they will sue us for it. Tomorrow I have an appointment with the new lawyer and we'll see how we will respond to all this BS. I will certain not agree to any meeting between other man and my wife, and as far as the ring goes, I don't want to give them anything. Other man is delusional. The sad thing is that all along I kind of have been feeling bad for other man parents, but now I feel enraged at them as well. They must be footing the lawyer's bill. I might be wrong, but I feel they've been enabling him all along on this fantasy. Other man must really think that the only way my wife cannot want him is if she is being brainwashed by me. There's no way I will agree to any agreements. There's no settling. I had the meeting with the new lawyer today. Other man's lawyer is real. He is someone who has worked for the family for many years and has mostly worked in the area of business law. We will be sending an affidavit answering each statement he made on the phone to my other lawyer. For legal reasons, it is important to do this in a written format in case we may end up having to go to court. My lawyer also called their lawyer. I got the impression that neither other man or his parents told their lawyer all the facts. My lawyer kept it simple. They will receive the affidavit and my wife under any circumstances will meet with other man. The bottom line is that whatever other man might want to believe, my wife does not want to see him, talk to him, to be with him, and any future attempts to do so or violations of the cease and desist, we will immediately ask what's called an emergency row. As far as the ring goes, my lawyer did not confirm or deny that I have it. Their lawyer claims other man mother has documentation that proves the ring is family property, that my wife while dating other man saw that ring many times. My lawyer says that if I want to keep the ring, they will very likely file a lawsuit. If that happens, no matter the outcome, but whatever can go both ways, as lawyer says we both have grounds to want to keep the ring. Either way, this will be dragged through the courts and I may end up spending more money than the ring is worth. He advises me that we offered them a deal. We will give them the ring back, but documentation will be prepared that the ring not only was given back, but also that other man did in fact left the ring and the rest of the trash on my mailbox. Other man must sign this. Lawyer said that depending how crazy and stalker other man is, he may do what many stalkers do, that is basically as long as there is a court case going on. He feels he is having some connection with the person he is stalking. Once wife will be there, he will be there. I need to give this some thought and see what I will do. I also had already reported it to the USPS about the letters, not about the ring, money or cell phone, as I needed to keep this as evidence. The letters, I just took copies of it. My lawyer told me today that once their investigation is done, other man will most likely have to pay a fee. My wife is not doing well this past days over all this. She is embarrassed, feels very guilty about it, doesn't understand his behavior, and is very concerned. We will be sending the affidavit in the days ahead, and as far as the ring goes, I will need to give all this some thought. While other man's lawyer faxed my lawyer what seems to be proof that his mother owns the ring, lawyer will confirm the authenticity of the documents. Their lawyer also claims that my wife can confirm this not only because she saw it many times while they were dating, but also because when changes were done to the ring and it was resized to my wife's finger. OM and his parents really believe she would marry him. I just feel like forcing wife to look to the damn ring, or maybe I should demand she puts it on her finger. As far as give it back, my lawyer advised me to do it if they agree with our conditions. I still just want to flush it down the toilet, tape it and send it to them. I'm not feeling too well in general, and the stress this past few days has been overwhelming. Wife is an emotional wreck as well. We haven't been able to eat much either. Wife has pushed me to go to the doctor and see how this might be affecting my health. Almost recovered, also suggested it might help. I think I will set a doctor's appointment and try to get some anti-anxiety meds. Lately she has been worse. Part I think is the fact she has been having a lot of nightmares, not sleeping much, and the little she sleeps she has nightmares. Wakes up, screaming, sweating, etc. We have kept a small light in the room at night cause otherwise she won't get herself to bed. She has also been very worried about me and how this is affecting me. Feeling guilty, remorseful, is constant worried every time I leave the house. Will call me every 15 minutes just to check on me. She has been going to IC. I would think it would help. I'm not sure. I was told a few similar things on MC today. First of all, the MC said that both wife and I should go to a doctor and seek some help for all the anxiety, not being able to sleep, not eating that we are both going through. I was also told off for not going to IC. I will not even post the excuses I used to not go. I take responsibility that I probably not doing all my work. I have been reading the books some of you suggested. Wife and I filed the questionnaires, but like in the past I failed to keep up with the IC. Wife set 2 appointments that I already missed. I will call myself first thing tomorrow morning and try to get the next appointment available. MC also suggested that taking into account the emotional wreck wife is she should go at least twice a week to IC at least for a few weeks. MC also pointed out that although my rage and feelings are normal and I have the right to feel the way I do, I can only hold wife accountable about the affair and not for the way other man is behaving. MC said that he is clearly mentally ill and suggested that it's even possible this behavior is the result of a manic episode or the fact he may not be even on any medication at all for the bipolar disorder or any other issues he may suffer from. MC also thinks that I'm focusing too much in getting back at the other man and on revenge more than I am at working and healing my marriage. I had not thought about this, not at least this way. Wife expressed all her feelings of guilty, remorse, shame for making me go through this, wants my forgiveness. Feels guilty not just for the affair but because other man is acting the way he is. Never thought he would do this and feels terrified that her actions may cause harm to me or our kids. Says she can't live with herself, is afraid I will not be able to forgive her and work on our marriage and will decide for divorce. Claims to be tormented by the nightmare and is terrified of what other man may do. MC also asked some questions about wife and other man dating times and his personality. I understand it's necessary, but I had a very hard time with that. I think overall went well. There were some things I definitely needed to hear. I think at this point I'm having more trouble with myself than with my wife. MC said wife is truly remorseful, has done everything she can to make things better and has done more than many DS will ever do, and that now is in my power to be open or not to work and moving forward and healing my marriage if that's what I truly want. I'm trying to be more patient with my wife since we got home. Last couple of days every time I saw her cry it just got on my nerves. It's like it triggers me or something. I'm just giving her time alone and let her cry if that's how she feels. I took the time off of work and still have 12 days left. The excuses to not go to the 2 IC appointments were lame excuses based on the fact I was not feeling that well. I set a new appointment to next Tuesday and will stick with it. I have always had issues in the past with the IC. I think I have a hard time facing my part of the blame for all this crap. I also have a hard time talking about myself. I'm not an emotional person and have trouble talking about feelings and emotions. I'm also not an affectionate person at all, and this has been part of the problem that I'm sure played a role in this crap. I know I have been focusing too much on the other man and his actions, probably more than I have in trying to heal my marriage. MC advised me that unless other man does violate the cease and desist, and then I immediately seek a row, I should try not to focus on getting back at him. Through the whole ring thing, that I should put all my time and effort on myself, wife, and working in our marriage. The in-laws will have the kids until Monday morning, and I hope to have a nice weekend with the wife. The MC called it try to be good to each other. I will try to do just that. Some of you here and my brother-in-law still in the dating scene gave me some great ideas for dates. I will take wife out over the weekend and do something fun. I want her to know I do love her very much and want to work this out. I want to make the marriage better than ever was. I hope I will find the right way to express it. I recognize that my marriage has problems that, although not an excuse for the affair, did plant the seed that lead to it. I think part of the problem has been my constant desire to make more and more and more money. This has caused me to spend many hours at work that now when I look back on it, I didn't need. We have a very comfortable life, and in part thanks to wife who is very good with money. I do not recall in this almost 10 years a single time that she made a financial request or demand. She will always go for the cheapest of everything, and there's no waste at my home. It has been material for many private jokes over the years. I think part of my obsession to make so much money comes from the fact that during my first marriage there were never enough money to my ex-wife. Shoes, clothes, makeup, more shoes, handbags, girls' nights out, you name it. She was never satisfied with anything. Always wanted more. At the time in school and with 2 jobs I couldn't make it. There were other issues, but money was one of them. I was back then what you guys call here a doormat. I did everything for my ex, who stepped on me in every single way you can possibly imagine. After my divorce, I made a point that I would never be treated that way ever again. I think I brought a lot of that bitterness into this marriage. It is also possible is the reason why I have so many problems in expressing to my wife how much I love her. I do have a lot of trouble expressing emotion, and feelings is something I just don't feel comfortable with. I really want to change and do the work, whatever it takes to make it better. This morning while wife making the breakfast, something she has done for almost 10 years without failing a single day, is like something just clicked on my mind. I had an epiphany. I thought of how all this year she has always put myself and our kids first. In every single occasion it has always been about my needs, the kids' needs, and what was best for us. My son has a special needs and wife has sacrificed more than I ever did so my son can be today where he is. Doctors and specialists have told us over and over again how my son would never be where he is if it was not for my wife's dedication to him. How much she sacrificed of herself and the things she wanted for us, and all this without ever been asked to do it or complaining. I have never been able to tell her any of this. I feel it but have never been able to express it or show it by simple things as being home at dinner time or buying her a birthday present instead of just giving her the money. I'm coming to realize I have been a jerk probably my whole marriage. I love her more than anything and I'm scared to death that maybe it's too late to fix things and I won't be able to undo the damage and will end up losing her. I want to change, I really do. I have not been a good husband. I want work on it but I'm terrified of not being able to do so. I didn't tell her anything last night. It was the first time in days that she was able to get some sleep despite the nightmares, and I thought telling her would just aggravate her emotional state and keep us up all night. I did tell her this morning, but in a calm way. I let her know that I'm not blaming her for his behavior, and that I trust her in case other man will show up. She begged me to not get into any confrontation with other man, and I promise I wouldn't. Other man did say some of these things the day he was at my house. I have it on the VAR. He is clearly unstable, and like the MC said, it's possible that besides bipolar he suffers from some other mental illness we are not aware. I was also told recently that other man has been obsessed with my wife since she was 15. They started dating when she was 18, but I was told he was literally obsessed with her long before that. Wife and I had a very nice day together and I remained calm. I did not mention other man or anything related to him. I'm worried, but I'm keeping that to myself. My biggest concern is him showing up here while wife and the kids are alone. She will not open the door, but I'm afraid this other man, human trash, might be capable of anything. I will try not to do anything stupid if other man shows up here. You all have given me strength and courage to keep my mind on the right track since all this crap started, and I hope I will keep all of this in mind if a situation of confrontation comes up. Today was a tough day. I lost my temper with her. Untrusting but verifying. So today while I was going through all the receipts of what has been spent, there's $30 missing. I went crazy. Reading all the stories here of the DS hiding phones, my first thought was she must have got some phone. I confronted her. She denied it and tried to show me how the receipts matched the bank records, and well, long story short, she was right, but I thought she was lying and lost it. Lost it really bad. I apologized and she was understanding, but can't help I feel awful. I know my reaction was not appropriate. If nothing else, I hadn't solid proof and lost it. I see was huge eye-opener today. Although it's not in any way an excuse for her, I do have some issues of my own that need to be worked out. I see thinks that I haven't recovered from all the crap that happened during my first marriage, and that I was so committed to not be a doormat in my current marriage that I ended up just stonewalling my wife, that I love her but have been incapable of let her in. I see said that for almost 10 years I have been emotional punishing my wife for all the crap my first wife did to me. It was very tough to hear and I felt so devastated that for the first time in like 10 years I cried like I don't think I ever cried before. I see does think that with hard work it can be worked out, so I'm hoping it will. I will definitely keep up the work with IC and try to be the best man I can. Hopefully I'm still in time to save and heal my marriage. We got the emergency row. There's one in my wife's name and other in my name. Both of them mentioned that this applies to our kids and our pets as well. The emergency row will last about 20 days when a court hearing is set. The row will then be either dismissed or we will be granted a so-called permanent row that it can go from 1 year to 2 years. Our lawyer thinks we might have a chance of getting the 1-year one. If we lose, we can appeal. Other man will be served. If he doesn't show up on the court date, a warrant for his arrest will be issued and very likely wife and I will get the permanent row. Other man is staying at a very cheap hotel. My lawyer was indeed pissed off with the police report as he thought they could have done more, but at the same time the fact there's a police report, it's already great, as in stalking cases you build up the case little by little, so he thinks anything that happens is our gain. The police report states domestic dispute, and what really pissed off my lawyer was the fact it mentions how cooperative other man was. Other man put on his best show in front of the police officers, but other man is crazy, nuts. He thought he was coming to pick my wife and our kids. The crap that came out of his mouth is beyond the pale. I smacked him against the wall. The police were right there and pushed me aside. I wasn't going to go any further, not that I didn't want to, but the first thing that came to my mind is that I would probably end up the night in the station and other man could always come back. My lawyer said that sadly the fact other man is known to us. The police did not take it as serious as if it was a stranger, plus I was incredible nervous at the time. After the fact I wish I had done this, but at the time I couldn't think clearly. Other man made it all about a love triangle where I was just keeping them apart. My lawyer suggested I keep myself on guard and to not be naive thinking that the row is some sort of it's done as other man can violate the row. He will very likely then be locked up but still other man can do it. This other man must realize that part of the reason why their forever love fantasy ended was the fact he did not want the wife to ever see our kids again. In the last couple of weeks other man went from not wanting her to see the kids, to allowing her to see the kids to now wanting to take the kids. This causes my brain to boil with so much anger and hate I feel like I am losing my mind. Just the thought of this other man could come any near my kids makes me want to beat the crap out of him so hard but so hard that after I would be done not a single bone in his body would be intact. I had an ex for many years. When the kids got older the wife made me get rid of it, even that I always had it in a safe box. She didn't want it in the house. I do think should get a new one. I'm considering just get it and not tell anything to the wife. Wife has been very remorseful, guilty and apologetic through it all. She has not accused me of being even remotely responsible for her affair. She has owned it since the moment I confronted her. We are having a hard time with her emotional state as she is not capable of forgiving herself for can't overcome the feelings of guilty and pain she has caused me. I'm trying to help her the best I can but as possible only time will make it better. For now, and as advised by the MC she will keep doing IC twice a week and has a doctor's appointment next week so hopefully she can get something to help her sleep. She is either constantly up checking the kids or the little she sleeps being taken by nightmares. I understand if I read about a BS being beat up or anything similar it causes me the same type of reaction. Things are going well. Wife and I are keeping up with the IC and MC. Have another MC appointment today. Wife is still going through the guilt feelings for all the pain she has caused me. She has been having a hard time but like my IC told me that's something she needs to keep working on and on her own time. In-laws took the kids over the weekend so we could have alone time and brother-in-law has helped with babysitting so we can have date night. I went back to work yesterday morning. Wife was very emotional and didn't want me to go. She got used to have me around. Father-in-law took off 3 weeks and is staying over during the day while I work. Wife was terrified of staying home alone with the kids so was the best option we could come up with at least for now. I'm making a point to get home around 5:30 p.m. no more extra hours. Before I was getting home around 10:30 p.m. by then the kids were asleep and wife tired of waiting for me to have dinner. No more of that. As far as the other man goes his lawyer filed a petition with the court requesting more time to prepare his defense on the Roe hearing. The petition was granted and we have now a court date in a little over than a month. The Roe was extended until the new court date. My lawyer says this is just other man basically wanting to fight the Roe and using the system to keep this going as long as he can. Nothing new the lawyer says when it comes to cases like this. My lawyer thinks we may have some chances of getting the permanent Roe that in cases like this can go both ways. I also found out that other man is staying with my brother and my sister. Not much I can say about such betrayal other than any chances I could ever reconcile with my brother are done for good. I may one day forgive him but don't want anything to do with him ever. Final update. Things are going well. Following up with IC, MC, R is going well. We finally had that honeymoon for our wedding anniversary. Closed the deal and got the property wife wanted so much. There's some construction work who needs to be done. We will move probably around March. Wife and kids also want horses. I will see what I can do. No contact with my brother or sister, no drama. We got the 1-year Roe against other man. He has not violated it and there's been no contact. I'm trusting but verifying. His side of the story believes once the kids go away for college, about 6 years from now, wife will leave. I'm not letting this thought bother me or mess up R. I have bad days and good days. Wife has been great and very caring helping me with triggers. Of course, I wonder if she thinks of him, loves him special when she gets lost on her own thoughts but the only thing I can do is be the best man I can be and do my best. I will not let this thoughts get into the way of R. In short, we are happy and I gave her a second chance. My comment, what you guys think about this second part ending? Would you give your partner a chance after an emotional affair? And does it make a difference compared to a physical affair? For me, usually it leads to PA, very rarely it is emotional only. So, I would say no for now. Tell me what you think down below, and I got more stories coming tomorrow.